Hello, everyone. Let me kind of get some things a little straighter. Maybe I don't want you to see my mess over there. See me a little more centered in the camera, but you can also see my mess. So, hello, how are you? Kim Wilson here, coming and bringing you the third part to teaching phonics and introducing young kids to reading. Phonics is actually the third part in that. The first part is phonological awareness. The second part is phonemic awareness. And the third part is phonics. And really teaching teachers and parents both that there's a difference between each of them and then how they all work together. So let me get started. I am going to share my screen with a little PowerPoint that I made. And again, I am great at teaching reading. Technology, I'm still working on. There we go. All right. So, phonics is step 3. Again, a little bit. Phonological awareness is the umbrella that phonemic awareness is also under, but we work on rhyming, syllables, and alliteration for that. And phonics is in its own separate category. The difference between phonics and phonemic awareness is you can do it in the dark. It's the sounds only. There's not a syllable that's connected to it. So if you don't show a picture or a letter or anything and you say, tell me what sound, hold a picture of the cat and say, tell me the beginning sound. So if they can do that, they don't need to know that the C is the beginning sound. They don't need to know that. That's phonemic awareness. Phonics is take the letter T and you ask what sound the T makes. T. That is the sound symbol correspondence. There has to be a symbol and a sound connected to it for it to be phonics. That's the difference in the easiest terms. Um, Research shows that phonics needs to be explicit and systematic to be the most effective. Explicit is a way that teaches children the sound, and instead of expecting them to learn it on their own. Some of the old ways, you guys, what, See Jane Run, do you remember those old books? Some of us, other people? Just reading, doing that whole language stuff kind of taught the kids a little bit how some of the letters make different sounds, and they expected them to learn it. Explicit is teaching, again, T makes the sound T. Teaching what a digraph is, CH is ch. Being explicit to what each sound and symbol, how they correspond, how they connect. Systematic is a way students are taught by teaching the easiest or the most common letter sound combinations first and then moving up in difficulty. Don't teach digraphs or diphthongs first and then start teaching letters. Start teaching letters and sound correlation and then moving on to more challenging things like digraphs, diphthongs, vowel teams, that kind of approach. There's several ways to teach phonics, and there are many programs that use a systematic approach. Words Their Way is a resource that I really like using. They're a great resource for small groups or for individual teaching. So if you're a parent at home, too, Words Their Way is an affordable way to get some resources and get some information and just making some hard copies to use at home one-on-one with your student. Also for teachers, again, it's an inexpensive way to go through, and it has a step-by-step approach on how to use it if you need that extra support. I like how their system builds with phonics. So their letters, they have specific letter order. It goes like B MSR, it just, I actually take three of their letters in, or three consonants and one vowel. So I use their way, sort of, but I add in the vowels because they don't do a lot of teaching with vowels, but I add those in. Um, I started at the beginning of the year. The letters and sounds are taught together, or in Montessori way of teaching, the sounds are taught separate in isolation, but letters should not be taught in isolation from the sounds. I think they should either be taught together or teach the sounds first. When teaching children, they need to be exposed to a variety of ways, and they need to have something to relate the letter sounds to. So if you're just practicing the letters and the sounds and never connecting those letters and sounds to words, it's going to be harder for the kids to connect how letters and sounds go with reading. You need to have an approach that introduces those letters and sounds in words and in reading. Um, the one book I've used since the start is Moncure. Um, I found these in the library when I first started teaching because I needed something to grab onto, and I found these. And then my mom found me a set, the entire set at Goodwill, so cheap. She bought the whole set, and I'm so happy with them. I'm sure there's more up to date books, but I like these. The book I is not culturally appropriate. For some reason, can't get that word out today. So I don't use that one anymore. I just find something else to use instead of that one because these books are very old. So it's not bad, but it's just not something that I feel comfortable using. So I don't use it. Um, I and with using these books, so I'm introducing concept to print at the same time. I also use items for them. I have little things in cases. So like I might have a block for b. Well, I probably would, or p, pen for the p sound. We do a video. We make a circle map of the words that start with a sound um, for their phonics and for alliteration. Um, I have picture cards with both upper and lowercase as well as a picture. And I don't have them here, but I have something that I'll kind of show you. Oops. So this has the letter on the other side, but I have picture cards that have the letter, the upper and lowercase, and a picture. So I say D, duck, D, A, alligator, ah. So that I say the letter, the word, the sound, so that they get all of that. And I go through all of the letters um, every day. Then we practice handwriting, and for our centers, I have um, things that help the kids, like puzzles and things that help with beginning sounds. So they have the letter and they have to match it with sounds. Sometimes this is hard, and so I do have them practice just upper and lowercase letter matching to begin with. But then quickly as I can, I move them to the letter in the beginning sound because I really want them to get the sounds because the sound is what helps them read. This is the foundation of my day at the beginning of the year. We hit it really hard and it makes a difference. I've only taught at one school that was not a Title I school, um, was not an inner city school. And so the kids that I have worked with for all of kindergarten, um, they come in with pretty much no instruction before. Preschool is not often a thing. They don't have a lot of family influence when they come in, so they don't really know anything. I had kids that didn't even know how to hold a book. Um, they don't know anything. Basically, they come in not knowing a thing. So we really have to hit this hard in order to get them caught up as quickly as possible, and to get them reading. So, what does my reading block look like? We start out with 3 consonants and 1 vowel a week with reviews on Fridays. I use my cards to go through the entire alphabet. Again, I have big picture cards that have the uppercase, the lowercase, and then a picture with the beginning sound. And so I just tap on the letters, say the letters. So F, and then the picture, fish, and go back and forth and go through, and we do it quickly. I do it quickly and do it daily. And then we do a letter of all the videos and sounds like Jack Hartman and a couple other ones. I like to use stuff that has sign language in it because it helps those kinesthetic learners get in some hand movement. And I also think it's really good to teach sign language, to teach a second language in with that. And there are studies that show that sign language helps increase the language area of the brain. Um, how do I start out? I introduce the letter of the day, say the letter of the day, say the sound that it makes. Um, then we read the Moncure book. I watch, we all watch Harry Kindergarten video of the letter names, sounds. We make a bubble map for that letter with the beginning sound so that the kids can start recalling some of the things that um, when they got to touch stuff, when I read the book, when they did the video of the letters and sounds, they start recalling that and putting that into a bubble map. Then they practice handwriting at their centers and do picture sorts in small group. So I use the again words their way, their picture sort. They do the work with my guidance at first, and then it doesn't take long for them to start becoming more and more independent with that. And then we also practice handwriting at the small group. Um, I go through all letters of the alphabet 3 times by December. How I do that too is at the end, the letters like Q, X, Z, V, those 5, 6 letters at the end of the alphabet, Y, that don't have a lot of words with those beginning letters. I put them all in 1 week, do them quickly, review them, and again they're gone over every day with our singing and with the tapping of the letters, so they still get it, but I don't focus a lot on those letters, um, so that we can get through them faster. So about every 5 to 6 weeks I've gone through all the letters of the alphabet and we're starting again. After the first time I go through all the letters, I stop reading the books, and we still do the other stuff. Uh, the alphabet cards go through Jack Hartman, um, but I bring the alphabet cards to the end of the day um, to review and don't have them in the morning. And then after the second time, we stop the maps. So we stop the maps and the books. And what I do is I add explicit phonics. And one of the ways I do explicit phonics is to have some letters, and I have all the letters that they know, and I actually start this right away after the first one too. So when I drop reading the books, I add this, but they have to wait for me to tap, and when I tap, they have to say the letter. So F, think about it, D, C. Good job. Then after we go through all the letters that I have on here, and I have about 15 or so letters on a whiteboard next to me. Then after we do the letters, we have to go to the sounds. So, okay, tell me what the sound is. D, k. And so we go through all the letters and the sounds in a day, because remember, I've taken the cards and put them at the end of the day, and then we don't do the book and we don't do the maps. Um, then after I drop the maps, we're also doing the explicit phonics and CVC words. So let's say our letter of the day is D, and we start with D, like a word dad, d, ad, dad, did, d, id, did, so that we're getting some of that phonemic awareness in with our phonics and hearing. I have It's actually phonics because I have the words written up on the board so that they can see that. I also might have do some dictation and have them with whiteboards, and I will dictate the CVC words and have them write it down. Um, Using a variety of tools help them gain knowledge needed for phonics, and that is important. Some students will need more hands-on tasks, like drawing in sand or some Montessori letter tiles, which they're sandpaper letter tiles. So anything tactile. Um, and that's why when doing the picture sorts, I still have the kids doing it, and I have it on here using the picture sorts for the first semester for most of my students in my small group. This allows them to touch it, to see it, and to say it. Again, in this time of COVID, though, this year, I do have everything laminated. The kids wash their hands before they come to the table. I spray everything down or wipe the things down in the morning. And then when they come, their hands are clean, the tiles are clean, they push it. After one group leaves, I clean them for the next group. The next group has to wash their hands as well so that they are clean and we can use it. But I want the kids to touch it, to see it, and to say it. And that's the same reason why I use videos like on YouTube, is because with the videos, the kids are seeing it, they're hearing it, they're saying it, and they're doing a movement with it, especially with um, the sign language, so that they're getting several different things. And again, music, movement, memory all work together. So that is why I like the videos. Here are some things that you can use whether you're at school or at home to help. Letter Factory is a great video to watch, and it has just so many parts and pieces, and the kids really like it, and they can watch it over and over again. And that's now on Netflix, and it can be found on YouTube. Alpha Blocks. Alpha Blocks helps a lot with their letter sounds. Um, they don't focus on the letters, they focus on the sounds, and I really like that. And that's on Netflix and YouTube. Starfall at starfall.com is really good. When I had several students that were English language learners, that English wasn't their first language, I gave them a lot of time on Starfall, and that really helped catch them up quickly because, again, they could see it, hear it, and say it all in Starfall. See it, say it, sign it is what I use for all their letters on Jack Hartman for YouTube. Harry Kindergarten for YouTube has each individual letter sounds, and I really like what he does. He has them writing the letter in the air to help them with their handwriting. He has them saying the letters. He creates some words to go with it. Those are just a few of the things that I use. Like I said, along with, if we go back to the phonological phonemic awareness part, I used Haggerty at the end of the day, and then I use Words Their Way for their phonics part. So Haggerty for the phonemic and phonological awareness, and Words Their Way for their phonics. And those things really help building a strong foundation for readers. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're looking for. If you have any questions, if you're a parent or a teacher, if you have young children, at home that are just beginning, if they're different ages, if you have struggling readers, ask me a question. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.